Good morning. I just turned the waiting room off, so hopefully people will just be able to join. It's a lot easier that way.
It is. I have a lot of students who are using like mom's iPads and it's something in Chinese or
Yeah.
I don't waiting room either.
Yeah. It's funny, my daughter yesterday, they did a Zoom for her soccer team and I started the Zoom. And so it kept showing up as Brandy Miller. And I'm like, stop switching, just leave it alone, just let it go.
Thanks for doing this, Brandy.
No problem. I heard Ryan had emailed me after the ST math training saying that there were a lot of questions on Clever.
Oh my goodness. In fact, I need to email Ryan because I want to get into the Think Central, the math, but I guess I need some sort of passwords or something.
Yeah, I don't know how. That's our goal. Our goal is to make everything run through Clever because it's just so much easier.
Yeah.
But right now we're not there with every piece that we have.
Yeah. I better write myself a note, otherwise I'll forget to send an email.
All right, we'll give people like another couple minutes to try to pop on. Let's see if, good morning, Sandy. See if anyone else is going to join us, and then we'll get started. I don't know if you were able to see on that document that has that had like the link to the Zoom. There was a link to an outline of this session. So that's there for your reference. At the bottom, there are resources that you can use. And I have that printed out and I'm just gonna walk through it for this. And then it is recording. So if any of your colleagues have questions, they can always watch the recording. We'll post it today. All right, we'll wait like maybe one more minute and then we will get started. For the most part, I'll share my screen and show you some things. Because Clever is connected to Aries, when we get into the part where you can see your classes, I don't have any classes, so I'm going to switch over to a slide deck to kind of show some of the features. All right, well, we will go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen. Okay, all right, Chrome is working for me today. Put my glasses on so I can see. Okay, so again, here's just that agenda that I'm gonna walk through for you, so you guys have that for your reference. So to start with Clever, you're gonna visit clever.com/in/Roland Schools, and it will take you to a screen that looks like this. Teachers and students will log in from here. Teachers, we'll start with the teachers and we'll go through all the teacher things, and then I'll come back and I'll talk about students. So you're just gonna click login with Google. You will not see this screen. I just have different roles. I'm gonna log in as a teacher right now. So once you click login with Google, it will take you here to your main dashboard. The place that you land on is called the homeroom. It's gonna show your teacher page, the district page, any tools that you've liked as a favorite will show up here. And it has access to everything else that you kind of need. So your homeroom in Clever is kind of where you're gonna get started. We will start with the district page. So by default, you have a page created for you. I think to start off with, it is not shared with any students, and then you can share it with your students if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and click in here. So the first thing you'll notice is these are newly added resources. You can create categories to kind of organize yourself. You would just click this add button and you can add a category. If you wanted to add links to any, like maybe it's an article that you want the kids to read, You can add links here, or if there's an app that you want to add, you can add that as well. So I'm going to kind of show you that pieces as well. Here you can edit your student sharing. So you could build this out for yourself right now where only you have access. So you're just building it out to add your resources. And then when you want to, you could add it, change it so that all your students can see it. Or if you teach secondary and you have more than one class, maybe you're only going to have a certain one of your sections or your classes that you're sharing this with. So for elementary, most often you're going to do all the students you teach. Secondary, you might make a page for your first period class and your third period class, but maybe your second and fourth are different, so you're going to make different pages for them. And you would just click one or more classes, and here in your drop down, all of your classes would show up. But again, I don't have any classes, so nothing's going to show up there. Or you can just make it private for you, and then these are just items that you will see when you log into Clever. Let's see. So if I wanted to add a resource, oh, nope, I was supposed to talk about customizing. So let me go back here. If you click on this little gear icon and then you click personalize, you can add your, add an image. So I've uploaded like my standard picture that I use for all things Roland, or you could use one of their little avatars that they have. You could change your page color. Nothing too exciting, but making things with my picture and the color purple make me happy. So I did want to show that. Oops, sorry, my screen's going a little wonky. If I wanted to add something, so you'll see here I've added formative, I've added typing club, and I've added freckle. You can search for and add any application that is in the Clever library. So when you click on this add button and then click app, sorry, I have some Zoom tools in my way. So I'm gonna search, I don't know, I can't think of one, so I will just use extra math. It popped up right here. So it's gonna open up a new tab. It's saying the district is recommending it. That really just means that it's something that I've used in the past and I just gave it a thumbs up. But it'll show you, it'll give you a quick little description about it. It'll kind of show you some screens of what the kids will see. Here it'll give you the details. It's free, it's for math, it's for grades K-8. It lets you know that there's 17 teachers in the district that are using it, and there's 58,000 teachers overall that use Clever that use extra math. So if it's something that you want for your kids, as long as it's free, you can install it. So you would just click this install button, and then it's saying it wants to create. So what's nice about Clever is it's going to create the account for your kids. So then you don't have to worry about creating passwords. And you know, like in elementary, a lot of kids have like login cards with all of their links and passwords and usernames for all these different sites. If you build things through Clever, then they don't need that. All they need to do is sign into Clever, and then they're going to click the extra math icon. So it's saying that I'm Brandy Miller. Here's my email address. Here you would see your students' names. And then here it's asking what class or what page do you want this to be installed on. I only have my one Miss Miller's page, so it's going to go there. I'm going to go ahead and click allow and continue. And so now it's going to take me into Extra Math's website. And so I could get started. Since I don't have any kids, I'm not going to go through this process, but you would just go through, like, do you have an extra math account? Yes or no. And then it will walk you through the process of linking with your kids and all of that stuff. So I'm just going to exit out of all of these extra windows.
So Brandy, can I ask a question?
Yes.
If I'm thinking of Epic, if I already have a class set up, it won't like make a new class. It sounds like what you're saying is I can connect what I've already done.
So it depends on the site. So if you try to connect Epic, and if it asks you, like, do you already have a class, then yes, merge them. If it doesn't ask you that, then Clever is going to want to try to create a class for a new account for all of your kids. So then I wouldn't do that. Okay. What I would do is maybe instead of adding the app, just add the link to Epic, and then the kids would log in how they normally log in.
Okay.
So let's just say, I don't know, let's take this document here. And I want my kids to be able to access this document. So I'm just gonna copy the share link. And then in Clever, I'm gonna click add link. I'm gonna paste that link in. I can give it a title, outline. What category do I want it to go to? So I have newly added in My Class Resources. We'll just put it in My Class Resources. It lets you add a little icon, or you can upload your own image. I'll just use the books. And then when I click add link, now it shows up right here. And then if this was something that I wanted my kids to have access to, when they log into Clever, they would just click this little tile and it takes them right to that document. So you can add whatever you want to your teacher page. And so you'll notice here that extra math icon popped up. So now when I click on it, it's going to take me straight into extra math. And because I haven't set it all up, it's going to probably ask me those same questions again because it's not set up yet. But if it was set up that I could just sign in and I'd see my kids, they'd be ready to go. So anything that you use with your students, you can add to your teacher page, and then only your students will see it. And I'm going to go back to the homeroom. In addition to the teacher page, we also have a district page. These are tools and resources that are pushed out at the district level. You cannot change any of these. You can't decide, oh, I don't want to see Zoom. I want to get rid of it. You can't remove anything on this district page. You don't have to use it, but you just can't get rid of it. So some of the district tools we have: Elluminate, Family Zone, Zoom, different teacher tools. We have Google tools, assessment tools, some Clever resources. And then down here, you have even more resources. When you are logged into your teacher account, because my teacher account isn't linked to real classes, you will also have a tab that says like curriculum. Curriculum resources is, I think, what it's called. And you'll have an icon for Seesaw. You'll have an icon for ST Math. You will have an icon for big ideas if you are 6th through 12th grade math. You will have an icon for benchmark. Anything that's pushed out at the district level, we have created icons for. I just don't have access to them because my account is not linked to real children. But you will have its own little category over here called curriculum tools, and you will see those tools there. So any of these tools, if there's something that you use often, you can click on this little heart and you can favorite it. And then when I go back into my homeroom, now Google Classroom is here as a favorite. If I decide, oh, I don't really want to use Google Classroom, then I can just unfavorite it. It will disappear just from my favorites, but it still lives in the district page. So those tools that I was talking about, like Seesaw, Google Classroom, Nearpod, don't add them on your teacher page because all of the students and yourselves already have them on their district page. Okay, so that's your teacher page, is where you can customize and add any resources that you use with your students. The district page is anything that's pushed out at a district level. Next, we'll go into the library. Here's where you can search for tools that you might want to use. I think now in this period of remote learning, less is more. So I may not be searching for new tools that I haven't used when I was with my kids, because it might be hard to teach them the tool, teach it to their parents, and have them use it on their own. But like Barbara was saying with Epic, you could search for Epic because she's already used that, and now she just wants to provide a link to it. So next year, assuming we start the school year, back to semi-normal, you could search and add any tools that you're interested in using. As long as they're free, you're good to go. But I would just be a little bit hesitant on adding new tools that the kids aren't familiar with during remote learning, just because there's going to be that learning curve and we're not there to help them with it, if that makes sense. But you can just scroll through. You can find anything So maybe quizzes, you've used that with your kids. So you can click on it. And same thing, you could read these teacher reviews if you wanted to. It gives you those screenshots. So you can kind of see what the tool is about. It's free here, so you could definitely install that. And then you would just click the install button, and then it would walk you through the steps to actually install it. And then if you do install something, but you decide, I don't really want to use it, I'm going to go back to my homeroom and go back to my teacher page. And let's decide, I decide that this formative, whoops, I didn't want to click on it. I don't really want anymore. You can click edit, and then you can uninstall it. And then your kids won't see it anymore. You won't see it anymore. It's just if you install something and then you decide you really don't want it, it's easy to uninstall any of these items that you've added to your teacher page. This new tool up here is analytics. This will let you see how many of your kids have logged into Clever within these time frames. So again, I don't have any students, but if you did, you could click here and it would give you a drop-down list of all your students' names. So who's been active the last 2 days, and you'd see all their names here, and when they last logged in, the last 3 to 7, or no activity. So this is new. This just rolled out, I think, a week or so ago. But it's nice if you do plan to use Clever as like the starting point of your class, then it's nice for you to see who's logged in and who hasn't logged in. It will not show you, I had a teacher ask me if this will show her who's logged into Google Classroom. It won't. It will just show her who's logged into Clever. And then this last tab here is your classes tab. So it's going to tell me that I don't have any classes. So Clever pulls from Aries. So everything is auto-generated from Aries, which is why I don't have any classes. But I'm going to go over here. This is the slide deck that is linked at the bottom of the outline. So you'll have access to this as well. But this is what it kind of looks like when you click on that classes tab. Your class name will show up here. What's nice about Clever is for TK to 2, you can generate a class set of badges. So instead of the kids having to type in their S100 number, which for most of our TK to seconds, they don't know that because they don't really use it, you could download this set of badges, and then kids just kind of, it's a QR code that kids just scan in. So let me see if I can get a picture of it. So this is kind of what it looks like. And then this teacher here just made it fancy. She put it, on the back of a cute little picture. But they just scan this on the main login page. So they click sign in with the badge, and they just hold it up. So the only issue right now with this is you can download the badges for TK to 2 by clicking download class set of badges, but you have to get that badge to each individual student. So you could put it into Seesaw, you could email it to parents, but somehow parents, if your site is, if you're mailing anything home, you can mail them like the little slip of paper with the badge. But for TK to 2, the easiest way for them to log in to Clever is with this little badge, as opposed to logging in with their S100 number, because most of them don't know that. If they're 3rd and up, like to get into the district Chromebooks at school, they had to log in with their S100 number. So most of them at least are familiar with it. So I would recommend 3rd and up, log in, hit the login with Google button, and they would just type in their S100 number and their Google password, and they'll be logged into Clever. But again, what's nice is once they are here and they're logged in, then they only have to click on the little icons to sign into any other tool that you've added. So I'm actually going to sign out of my teacher account. Oh, nope, I'm not. I'm going to show you one more thing, sorry. You can download the class set of badges, or if an individual student somehow, like you sent home the QR code and they lose it, You can also download a badge for individual students. So you just click on their name when you're in your classes tab, and then you can download a badge for them. But I do want to kind of show you what a student, what the student interface looks like. So I am going to mask in as my daughter so you can kind of see what the kids would see. I hope she's not on Clever in her class right now, but we shall see. Okay, so this is her portal that she has access to. So here's her teacher page. So the first thing that the kids will see is your teacher page. If you've added anything to it, I don't know if her teacher has added anything, so I'm not going to click on it. But if she has, then kids could click on it and they could find their resources. For the district tools, so my daughter's a 5th grader. She has access to Nearpod and to Seesaw. And again, what's nice is I can just click on that Seesaw icon and it's going to automatically, oh, I don't know if it's going to override because I'm logged into Seesaw on my Chrome account. Let's see. I think it's trying to. Yep, there it is. It will automatically log her in to her Seesaw account. So again, one of the main purposes of Clever is it's a single sign-on portal. So once they've signed into Clever, all of these other tools, they don't have to remember the sign-on for them. They just click on the icon and then they're logged in. So here she is logged into her Seesaw class for music. So again, here are those curriculum resources that we talked about. So she's 5th grade, she has access to Benchmark for ELA, and then some of the science tools. So Barbara, Think Central is here. I don't know if my daughter's ever used it, so I don't know if this button works, but I will follow up with Ryan.
And I'll send an email too. Yeah. That's where I clicked on it, and it had me entering a password.
Okay.
And I don't know my password, so.
Yeah, so I will follow up with them because what we want everything to do is like the Seesaw button was, you click on it and it just logs you in automatically. So I'll follow up with that. So again, so she still has those Google tools. She has the student assessment tools. She has the ARI student portal. And then down here, she has the more apps. So these are things, one, I haven't categorized all of these on the back end of the district account, but here's the ST Math icon. So she can, and my daughter has done this, she will click on this icon and it automatically logs her into ST Math. We just got BrainPop and BrainPop Junior added in. So if you decide you want to use those resources with your kids, you can just have them click here and they'll be logged in. We do have a trial, like the COVID-19 trial version of all of BrainPop and BrainPop Junior. So your kids have access to all of the different resources there as well. So it is really nice. Yes.
Sorry, I had a question. Under the curriculum, it will list what, so I teach 6th grade. So under the curriculum, their books would already be there.
Yes, so a 6th grade will have Big Ideas Math. And then 6th grade isn't in a pilot. I know there's all these pilots for all these other tools. You guys are just using Pearson, right?
Yeah.
Pearson, I think it's just a link. I have to check in on this because Pearson we couldn't get to sync up, I think. So I think there's an icon for Pearson, but they're still going to have to enter their password. It's basically a link that takes them to the Pearson login site.
Okay.
But yes, that'll be there. So what's nice about Clever is we can customize the experience based on grade level and content area. So, my daughter's a 5th grader, so she sees Seesaw. She'll see Seesaw again next year as a 6th grader, but once she goes into 7th grade, she won't see Seesaw again because we don't have Seesaw for 7th graders. She'll see Benchmark just for this year, and then next year she'll see Pearson. Next year under curriculum, she'll see Big Ideas because that's the curriculum for 6th grade. So none of those things you have to adjust. if you notice that there's some like district tool, like Benchmark, for example, and you know you're a third grade teacher and you don't see the Benchmark icon, shoot me an email and we'll figure out why that isn't showing up for you. So if there's tools that you know that we have district-wide access to and that in your grade span you should have access to it, but it's not showing up, just let me know and I will look into that for you. So yeah, this is just what the students see. It's just basically a portal that they can click and access these resources that they might use. So let me end her session just in case she's trying to jump on and do some schoolwork. Close out her Seesaw as well. Portal. So let's see, district tools. It's not Pearson Realize. Is it? Is 6th grade Pearson Realize? I don't think so. So yeah, I don't see Pearson here. These are all the district tools. So I'll have to check in on Pearson to see why it's not showing up. So yeah, so that's like the student view. Let me log out of my district account. So now moving into students logging in, they would just click login with Google and they would put in their Google information and they would get into that portal like I did for Lauren. Or if it's TK to 2, they're just gonna click on Clever Badge. And then they might need to, oh, there's my webcam. So then they would just hold up, I don't have one printed, but they would just hold up like their little QR code, kind of like how they do for Seesaw at school. And then it would scan it and they would be logged in. So they'd be, it's just an easier way for them to scan in. And all of this is done at the clever.com/in/Roland Schools. That's where everyone's gonna start from, teachers and students, and then they would just log in however they would log in. I did wanna share some of the resources that we do have available. So on the EdTech website, I have some videos and some other, like some clever videos, some videos that I've made, some more information like about each of the sections we talked about, the homeroom, the library, things like that. So you can always click on these videos for more information, some information on the district page, the Clever library. The Clever Academy is Clever's like self-paced courses. If you give me a badge, I will take your little online courses. So I did all these over the summer. 1, I needed to learn about Clever, but 2, they gave me a cute little badge I could put my signature. So if you do have any questions, you could search the Clever Academy, and then they also have support resources. So on the EdTech website, I have the link for teacher support, and then they also have a section on students. I think now it's called Students and Families. But your kids could search that as well. And then the slide deck that you see right here is the same slide deck that is linked here and that I was showing you on this screen. So I'm trying to put things in multiple places, so you could just scroll through this slide deck if you wanted to. It's put out by Clever, but it kind of walks you through some of the same things that I walked you through right now. And then they have this little like quick 4-page document on using Clever. So I just wanted to share that as well. Clever is very responsive on Twitter. If you send them if you tweet at them, they will respond to you, because I've tweeted at them with different questions. You can do that, and then you can also email them for support. If you go into the teacher support, I know somewhere on there, there's a contact form, so you can, oh, there it is, contact us. So you can send them an email, and they usually, well, before all of this happened, they were responding within 24 hours. I don't know what their response rate is now, but they're pretty good. But these are just the different help articles and resources that they have on their website. But all of this can be found from this one main document on the EdTech website. These 3 items are actually on the website, or you can just view them here. So I am going to stop sharing my screen so I can see everybody. Does anybody have any other questions? Something else you wanted me to show? Yeah, any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, actually, 2 things. ST Math will not run on this computer, which is my school computer. It says I need Adobe something or other. It won't run. So I can't even look at ST Math. That was my first thing.
Okay, so I would either call into technology and have them remote take over your computer so they can figure that out, or you can send them an email, and same thing, they'll just remote take over. The phone number is
I think I have it because I've given it to parents.
okay.
Okay, so what is it again?
626
Mm-hmm.
854
Mm-hmm.
8543.
Okay. So my second one is Clever is basically a place to put all of the stuff. So the kids only have to click on that one thing and then they can go to all that stuff. But we've been on remote learning for a month now, actually 5 weeks. And the kids are either logging in and getting to where they need to go or not. And I can't imagine handing the parents one more thing. So I think it's a great idea next year to start the year that way, but my kids don't know how to do this. And they're all getting into Epic, they're getting into Khan Academy, they're getting into all the things that we're using just on their own. I think if I add one more, they would just, I think the parents would want to kill me.
Yes, I completely agree with that. Like, especially right now, less is more. Less is more for you, less is more for the kids, less is more for the families. The only thing is for ST Math, I think, except for a few, I know Blandford, you guys had ST Math before.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to even use it. I just would like to look at it and see what it is. But I'm not sure I'm going to add anything else to what my kids are already doing. They've got Prodigy, they've got Khan Academy, they've got Math Seeds. I think if I add one more thing, the parents might just lose their minds.
Yes.
So I think if they can get on and just do what we're doing, I'm happy.
Yes,
I mean, you know, when I Zoomed the other day, I had 21 out of 25 kids, or 24. So I felt pretty good. So.
Yeah. Yes, definitely less is more. And yes, my goal for next year is Clever is the hub that everyone starts at.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, for next year. I think that, because then also you have to link all your classes. And if they don't link, then the kids are going to be messed up with what they're already logging into. So most of my kids, I want to say 90% of mine are probably on an iPad. So they just go to
the different apps.
Epic, they click the button, it takes them in. They go to Class Dojo, it takes them in, because it's, you know, they're already hooked in. So I think I'll leave them hooked in where they are.
Yep.
So, okay.
Good plan.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Brandy, that Sandy's question just made me think. If they have an iPad, is there an app for Clever?
There is a Clever app. It's been pushed out on the district iPads.
Okay.
So if they got a district iPad, the Clever app is already installed. Yeah. If they're working on a personal device, they would have to install the Clever app.
But it's probably free.
Yes, it is free.
So I'm agreeing with what she was saying, that, you know, if the kids are already getting in, that's great. But I have some kids that are constantly saying, what is the password for this? How do I get into that? And we've done it already for weeks. So I think I might let them continue doing that if it's working, but I might go ahead and set up some of these Clever apps for those who are just struggling.
Yes.
And hope that I get more kids.
Yeah.
Third graders aren't used to doing all this as much as I had hoped. And again, and like you said, hindsight, if only I had used these links a little bit more during the school year, it would be a little easier now. But, you know, we are where we are.
Yes. And Christina, did you have a question?
Oh, yes, I did. So, sorry, I don't know if I signed in a few minutes late and I have my kids talking in the background.
No, you're good.
But I wanted to know, are the students automatically all on Clever under my name? Like when I sign in, will I see my entire class there?
Yes, so you will see, let me share my screen again. Let me log in as, can I, oh, well, let me log in. Can I log in as you and I'll show you what you'll see?
Sure.
Okay. Where'd you go? You were just there. So this will be nice because this is like what a real teacher account looks like. So you'll have a page here that's shared with your students. It's got nothing on it because you haven't used it so far.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have a page here that is just for you if you want to just start adding things that you want to look at. But if you click on your classes tab, you'll see your 2 classes. So for the most part, you're probably just going to live in your regular 6th grade class. But then you can scroll down here and you can see your kids.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because they're
Yeah.
6th grade, so I take it they may like this better.
Mm-hmm.
And they could do it on their own.
Yes, but they're all linked. It's all pulled from Aries. So if, God forbid, you got a new kid tomorrow, they would show up in Clever on, you know, they'd have an account, they'd be ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions or issues? Okay, well, I'm not going to hold you for the whole hour. If everyone's got their questions answered, I will follow up about Pearson for 6th grade ELA to see if there's a link or the app. Sorry, I'm writing myself a note for kids and teachers. So I will follow up with that to see about that. And then we will post this on the website that all the other videos have been posted on. And I'll also link the outline document that has the link to the other resources and things like that. So, all right. Thanks, everyone, for coming. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me or Janet.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Ooh, Janet, I like the little clapping hands there. That's fancy.
You haven't seen that before?
No, I like it.
Yeah, I'll try, you know.
Yeah, it's super fancy. All right, let
My
me.